What is going on, everybody? This is Rawstarr of the Burbank Misfits. Again, this is another week we do not have CW joining us. He had an emergency he had to take care of, so it's just me. But I am blessed to be with a wonderful human being. You have no idea how wonderful this person is. I actually met her at a party, and it was not one of Jake's. It was one of Liv Revamp's party. And all around, she's just a wonderful human being that has been blessed to be in my life for a while now. And I've, like, every time I see her, it is always a pleasure and always a smile to even interact with her for a split second, even if it's just that. I am joined with the wonderful Blatantly.
Hello.
Blaten, so for all the unlucky people out there in the world who have not seen or been blessed with your presence or even saying your name, tell them who you are.
My name is Blatantly, and I'm an adult performer, and I'm based in Los Angeles. And actually, I'm a lot of different things. I kind of dabble in a lot of different things. So, yeah. But that's like some of my stuff that I do. Like, that's just a small speck.
So what's in the expanded spec?
I do a lot of different stuff, like mainstream stuff that I would kind of like rather
we're not
not.
Talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So, but I've always been just kind of like everywhere, kind of like just dabbling in everything. So yeah, I'm like, I guess you would call an entrepreneur, maybe.
I mean, you always got to be one expect, especially out here, and especially in your position as a performer. You have to always be aware of every opportunity that you could take, good or bad, to see if it's worth your energy to attack.
Exactly.
So no matter what you do, you're an entrepreneur and doing that. So tell us, how long have you been in the industry and stuff like that?
I've been in since like the end of 2016. So like about like 3 or 4 years now. And what is that, 3 years?
It's 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Well, it was the end of 16. It's about to be 3 years.
Yeah, about to be 3 years. Yeah, and it was just a by chance type of thing. I really didn't plan on being in this, but I always wanted to. I always wanted to, actually, to be honest with you, but I just didn't think at the time that it was really possible because I was already like in my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And
but you don't look it though. I know, like when you told me that when I first met you, I didn't.
I know,
see it.
It's fucking crazy, isn't it? Yeah, but like, so I didn't expect anything out of it, and I just happened to go with a friend that was going to meet an agent, and the agent was like, "Well, do you want to know what your potential is?" And I'm like, "Sure." He's like, "Okay, you guys drop your clothes." And so we like got naked. And he was like, you know, I think that you would make a lot of money. You should really like look into trying to get into it. And I was like, well, whatever. And I came home and I just like started thinking about it. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll give it a try, you know? So I just looked up all the agents and just sent my information and then applied and see who would, you know, maybe give me a shot at it. Yeah. And I got an agent, and then it just like kind of blew up from there, I guess, and just, yeah, evolved. So,
you know, it was, I can't think of her name right now, but I know someone else I met that just happened to go with somebody, and they put her on also like that. So, you know,
yeah, right.
And
you never know.
And I know it's funny because I know that person is doing better than the friend that she went with.
Yeah.
So it was just like, you know, you never know what could happen if you go to these things like that. Because I know when I first started doing anything in the industry, because I do very little, like it was because I was casting reality television out here. Uh-huh. So I did like The Mold, Kitchen Nightmares, Flavor of Love 3. And then somebody was like, Raw, help out with this award show. I'm like, okay. And I helped out with the award show, and then everybody kept asking me to do, hey, would you mind editing my my personal video for me? Would you mind editing this? So I started editing. It's to the point now It's the fact that I can be at these events around a whole bunch of naked people walking around, and it's just like, okay, they naked, and I can't even watch certain movies anymore because it's like this could have been edited differently.
Right.
Because I've edited so many people's personal videos.
You never know, like, what's real and what isn't really. Like, as far as, like, you know, like, just, I mean, nothing in porn is real. Like, what you're watching is not real. I mean, there may be, like, passion between the two people, and there may be, like, some sort of, like, connection, but, like, the storylines and, like, how everything is, it's, like, not real at all. You know, it's, like, completely.
You know, like, CW's not here, but he would judge me because, like, and he always judges this, is the fact that, like, with me, when it comes to porn, like, if I'm trying to watch it to, you know, enjoy myself, I need a storyline. I need, like, I can't just turn on the porn.
You don't want the gonzo.
Fast forward to the
sex scenes.
And say, okay, let's get into it. I need you to set me up. Like, why are you two having sex? I mean, like, is this your realtor and she's showing you her apartment, and all of a sudden you're just in a bedroom with a lava lamp and you get happy? I mean,
I know, right? Exactly.
Sell me something. You know?
There's a lot of people that are on the fence about that because I feel like, you know, some people like the storylines, and then other people don't care for it. They want to see just gonzo, just get straight to the point, you know, like. And I don't really know which one. I kind of like the storyline a little bit, but, like, I don't know. It can be a little corny sometimes, so I guess it just depends on what you're watching.
That's only if the acting is bad.
And most of the time, it's not that great.
And no, it's
It's getting better now.
It's some acting that is just has been so bad that I couldn't watch the scene.
No.
And it really throws it off too, because I only if I am to watch a porno, I would only watch girl or solo. Mm-hmm. But, like, give me substance.
Yeah, right. Some people don't want that either, though. But I feel like the storylines are getting a lot better these days. I think they're putting a lot more into it.
They're a lot better than they were
ever, I think.
Yeah. Like from when I started watching them in general, because back then I used to watch both, you know, boy, girl, and everything.
Yeah.
And then I progressed as I got older, and by college it was just like, I don't want to see another man's penis. So
right? Yeah. Well, what about like POV? I mean, is that like?
I don't want to see another man's penis.
Wow. Okay.
Like I don't like. As much as I love girl, but I love when girl have strap-ons. You know, but it's still two females, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't like, the thing is, it's like, and this is what people judge me at. It's like, you know, I'm comfortable with how long I am, whatever. But it's like, if I'm watching someone and I know they have a foot on me, it's kind of like.
Yeah. It's not good for the ego.
I can't make
compete
you like that.
Yeah, right? And that's why I think that they should have more, like, average Joes, you know, like, in porn, seriously, because, you know, most people that are watching it are not big or buff or, like, you know, they're like, you know, dad bods and, like, you know, just like regular normal guys.
Or older, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, they have to, I think that they should make it kind of, like, more on, like, a realistic side so that people can relate better.
There is one person, I do not know his name, but I know he is, like, a very, very scrawny white dude. Mm-hmm. And he looks like he's, like, underage.
Jordy?
Yes.
Yeah, Jordy.
And I'm not like, and no disrespect to him, but his look is kind of like.
I know, it's like, can I check your ID?
Yeah, it's kind of like, but it's kind of like that average Joe. And he looks kind of like one of the, like, I'm gonna say nerds, but
a skinny, scrawny, like little, like a 19-year-old or barely 18-year-old kid, right?
Yeah, and he just fits the mold of the actual people who are actually. The more, like, I won't say the more active low, actually, because most of them aren't, you know, active like that, you know.
No.
And so, and that's what I was like when I first saw that person, like, on my timeline feed, because, you know, sex everywhere. I'm like, of course, he fits the mold, and like because and no disrespect to Prince, but Prince Yasha, he is a big buff dude wearing Timbs and does backflips when he has sex, and I'm like, I don't have the manpower to do that.
Right? I know. It doesn't really help for like, And I think that does something to men too. I think that it's like important for them to be able to like relate, like, I mean, because any little thing can just like throw you guys off. You know what I mean? Like, just like anything visual or anything you get in your mind, it just like will stick there and like just cause like, I think like some problems possibly.
Well, I believe also some people cannot separate fantasy from everything else.
Yeah, that's where the problems come into play.
That's a big issue because everybody just wants, I mean, like I understand you got the fantasy and all this stuff like that, but people in this industry, I mean not industry, but out here watching it, do not understand where fantasy ends and reality begins, I mean, because some people, like, react to their fans, whatever, and they egg them on, and then all of a sudden, like, you got some girls who say, yes, send me pictures of your dog, whatever, and then because those few girls say that, they think it's okay to send it to every freaking female. Like, I can say this. I am the person who runs the Urban X Porn Awards Twitter. I cannot tell you how many ding-dongs I done saw in my timeline because they were applying to other girls, like the girls who are posting up about the event. And I'm like, do you really think somebody is going to say, oh, that is a nice penis?
No,
I want that.
Right? I literally I could probably put together a living room, like a dining room table or a living room table fucking straight like book on all the dick pics that I have, just all the different kinds, all the different sizes, all the different, like looks, everything, like, and just have it, like publish a book and just have it sitting on my living room table full of penises.
And this one, like just slants slightly to the left.
Right, just like black and white pictures of like just cocks, like just so people, because they have that with pussies. I've seen it where they have like, what is it, like rate my pussy or something online, or you can go and you can like look at different pussies and like people like rate them, like, oh, this is a nice one.
Oh, rate. I thought you said a different word at first.
No, not rape. No, rate.
I thought you said, I'm like, rape up my pussy.
Yeah, rate. Yeah, so I get a lot of those things too, a lot.
People, I don't know. And I think it's people who are on Rape My Pussy. A lot of those, like I'm knowing for a fact, they taking these pictures from like, random people that aren't them and throwing them up there. And it's just, I don't know, people just weren't raised right. Because they get some sort of obsession with certain females and they push it a little bit too far, or they feel so entitled because of how they were raised and feel that because you're a female, you have to give it to them, no matter what you say.
Oh, I was just dealing with that the other day. Like my friend, she was like, "Yeah, that guy we met the other night. Remember him? Like, he's like calling me and like I've been talking to him, but then all of a sudden he's like asking me questions like, oh well, you're not going to go to this party unless I go with you. You're not going to go by yourself." And it's like who the fuck like assigned you to be my keeper? Like I barely even know you, like for one, and like how are you gonna put like all of a sudden like feel entitled enough to like where you're telling me what I can and can't do? Like I've known you for a week, dude.
I can see if you were dating, but like if you just met somebody and you're still in that get to know process, they have no right to tell you when and where you cannot go, Well, it's like, dude, like seriously, like get it together. This is like something that comes like way down the line, dude. Like you've skipped past like I don't know how many different like stages of this. You're skipping some steps.
Right, yeah. Like, hello, like what'd you do? Just like skip right over them, just hop on to the fucking tell me how to live my life, like step. It was just funny, but like I've actually had guys do that to me too. Like they're like telling me like, oh, like I want to hang out with you, but I want the feeling to be mutual, this and that. And it's just like, come on, dude. Like seriously, like if I agreed to come hang out with you, it's because obviously I want to hang out with you. It's like why do I have to say that? Like why do we have to mutually agree on that we both want to see each other when all you have to do is just ask me? If I say yes, that means I want to. If I say no, then that means I don't.
I feel that, and this can work both ways. Is that some people just don't feel that desire from somebody, that someone actually wants to be around them, you know?
Yeah, that's just right there, red flag, I feel like, probably.
I mean, like, but that could just be because, like, they've had rough times
of course.
in the past. So, you know, sometimes that affects the way that they think about, you know, going into a relationship, whatever. You know?
Oh no, but we barely talked over text message. Like I've never even heard.
No.
voice.
I'm just saying.
Oh, in general.
Because I don't know that person to say that they're.
Oh well, trust me, I've been hurt in relationships before, and like I literally like just I'm sure that I've taken some of those experiences and like brought them back into my next relationship, which is not a good thing. Like you got to leave your old baggage at the door.
It's hard to do that because like it's simply because like depending on how rough it is, and the ending of it is, like it puts you on defensive or awareness. Yeah. If like defensive as far as this person could be abusive, whatever, or awareness of the fact that like if they went out and slept with 15 other people, it's kind of like, are you with someone else right now or whatever? And I know if CW was here, he would bring up like the entire dating and the industry thing, because if somebody would say, well, are we in an open relationship because you do this for a living? And it's kind of like
that's a hard one for me
to date. And
well, it's not a hard thing for me to like do what I do and date. Like I was with somebody when I got into the industry. I was with him for 4 years, and like literally like, I mean like it was a great relationship or whatever. But like I feel like like I could never ever be cool with it like he was. You know what I mean? Like I could never do that. Like even me doing what I do, like the thing is that I can separate that shit. Like I know how to do that. Like I know that sex doesn't mean love. Sex means a great feeling. You enjoy it while it's happening, and then when it's done, it's done. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's it. Like it doesn't go any further than that. Like for me, anyways. And so, and two, on top of it, like when you're in the industry and you have like a boyfriend or whatever, just know that majority of the time those girls, they're only coming with their partner that they're really with. They're having sex with me like me. I enjoy it. Like I'm having sex, I'm enjoying the fuck out of it. Like I love it. But at the same time, like to actually like have like a real true like unforced orgasm was only happening with my partner. But so it's like, and that's how I knew I could separate the two, because like I could be having sex out here. For me, it's emotionally.
But it's also on-screen sex is different than
off-screen.
Like off-screen, because like if you're off-screen, you're doing it. You're not pausing for take the picture,
right? Or like, oh yeah, okay, now we're gonna do position 2. Switch positions now. Now we're going into 3. Okay, well I need a break, like or whatever. That's how it is. It's like stop and go. It's not, you can't really build.
But I know I've said this previously before. It's like I know for me, if I were to date someone in the industry, it would be only 2 things that would be in the back of my mind that I would ask. It wouldn't be like me forcing someone to do it, but it's like I don't know if I would be comfortable with dating. Not just like I don't mind if I'm clean, whatever, and I do something with somebody on the side, whatever. But if I'm dating somebody, if they're doing boy-girl, like I would prefer. I know a lot of girls do this because they have a partner, whatever. They only do girl because of that, and I would be okay with that. But then the other thing that I would be in the back of my mind is how often I would have to go get tested as well, even though I know I'm faithful to whoever I'm with, whatever. But they have, like, cause, y'all have to get tested every 2 weeks.
Yep.
And even though I know for the most part the industry is strictly clean, whatever,
shit happens.
Exactly.
Because people that you're sleeping with are not always just having sex with people on film or that are in the industry. They're going out and doing it outside, and that's what brings in the issues. Yeah, I know. I know, that's scary. Because one time I did get something, like, and I had never ever gotten anything after that. Like, this is my first and only time. and I had gotten something, and I didn't find out from going to get tested through the industry. I had just been tested 2 weeks before that, did a scene, and then I had like my annual like women's thing that I have to do once a year, where they go in and check you out and everything. And they called me back and they're like, "Hey, you have this and something," and I'm just like, "What the fuck?" Tripping out. And then so I had to go back to my partner and be like, "Hey, look, it just FYI, like I got a little like STD, like, nothing life threatening or permanent." And they had to go in and get tested, but they didn't have it, luckily. So I don't know how that worked out, but like, I mean, that could have been like, that
it could have been there, but not responsive. What's that word?
Active or something?
Non-responsive.
Or maybe they're just like a carrier or something. Or, no, it's not non-reactive, because when you have something like you have like chlamydia or gonorrhea or like fucking like, like BV or something like that, those things are usually things that like maybe the guy doesn't have any symptoms from it, but he's carrying it and passing it along, but he has it. He just he's not feeling any effects of it, and that's the same thing with like, it goes vice versa. Girls do the same thing, they may carry and not notice anything, but a guy gets it and he's going to be like,
no, I don't know what I meant. You said that you think your partner didn't get it from you.
Yeah, they didn't get anything from me.
As I'm saying, like, I said it probably was there, but it was not, you couldn't pass it along.
Oh, yeah, on me? Oh, yeah. I just got lucky somehow. Like, maybe he just wasn't affected by it, but like, it was scary though. It was just so embarrassing.
Like, first of all, it's scary, and then you have to see everybody he was with, and then everybody who they were with, and
yeah, what happened? It had to have happened either on set, or it was like, because I mean, like, you figure, okay, like, yeah, 2 weeks is good to like, like to get tested how we do, but there's also still like a small little window that like is like an unsure time, because in those 2 weeks, a lot can happen in 2 weeks. Like somebody could probably fuck 100 people in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, if they really tried.
Yeah,
but
they
could never tell
they
where
gangbang with 20 people. So
there we go.
That's 20 right there in one day. So
yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. So, and if you're a girl, all you have to do is just walk out your house, and you could just be like, probably like pull anybody off the street, probably.
Yeah, I mean, like,
people are not that would happen, but I mean, like, that's just.
I mean, I've seen certain performers meet people at bars that were just regular Joes and go home with them. So, and you never know who these regular Joes are. No. So they can catch anything from anybody.
Dirty dick motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a performer, and I wasn't trying to have relations with this performer, but she just said to me that my dick wasn't kosher. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not trying to have sex with you. I was just sitting outside with the two girls that you were trying to have sex with. And I'm like, they came with me. I'm just sitting here, just whatever. And it's like,
but she was like, she came out and told those girls like his dick's not kosher.
No, she just told me that.
Why? Because you're not in the industry.
I wanted to join.
Oh.
I'm like, nah. Like, because one of the girls is a friend of mine. It's one of those girls that's off limits, like in that friendship void. Mm-hmm. And the other girl I had just met that night, and she just came out with us. And the performer wanted to get with both of them, and like, I had no issue with it.
I've been like, bitch, mind your own business.
But I was, I was just there because because I feel that like because they came with me, I have to be like at least conscious of where they're at.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why I was standing there, and then she said that to me, and I'm like in my mind, I'm like, I'm not trying to have sex with you, woman. I said a different word in my mind, but since I don't curse anymore, I said that word, but I'm like, really?
In your mind, you cuss.
In my mind, I cuss a lot, but I try. Like, it's to the point where every time I say a cuss word, I count it so I can quit cursing.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I'm only at 22 this year.
Well, how about this? Every single time you cuss, you have to give me $1.
I mean, now I would only have to give you $22 for this year.
Oh, that's good then. But
I mean, like,
remember, from now on, anytime you cuss, when I see you, you better walk up with a stack of money. Like,
2 years ago, it was a lot higher. Like, 'cause I know it's been going down. It was $268 2 years ago, $169 last year. It's only $22 this year.
That's crazy that you count that shit.
I mean, it's the only
There's
way
one.
It's the only way that I can mindfully quit.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was telling, have you met Crow?
Crow? No.
Well, he's a performer. Like, I know he's did a few things with Kira Noor, because that's one of her best friends. He did our podcast, like, and he was trying to get me to curse. I'm like, it's hard. Like, it's to the point where if I do it that way, I can quit. It's just something that I really want to do is just quit cursing. I used to curse a lot. I used to say, like, the F word without using a regular word. Like, F. And then
fuck this fucking bitch, motherfucker, what the fuck?
I wouldn't even say what the.
You just be like, fuck.
And I would end the F word with uppity, like I would add a ITY on the end of that word.
Like
so FUCKITY.
Oh, okay. Fucking.
Yeah, so I would. Yeah, it was really bad. So it's. But anyway, I was like, really, woman? And it's like, you know, and that's why a lot of people who know me now, like, know that, you know, I'm just cool with people in the industry. I'm not trying to actively have sex with a lot of girls out here.
No, you know,
I wouldn't mind it, but it was like.
And people respect that, though, because you want to know something, like, seriously, like, what I've noticed is, like, majority of the time, I wouldn't even tell people that I'm in the industry. If I'm just meeting you, I wouldn't even tell you I'm in the industry, because usually, for the most part, as soon as I say that, it's just like, immediately they think that it's okay to not treat me like a lady, you know, like, and or be like, you know, like, as if, like, oh, it's okay to fucking touch her like this, or to, you know, talk to her like this, or, you know, and it's just, you see the change and difference in attitude, like, versus, which is shitty, because it's like, dude, we're all human beings. We all like to be treated with respect. We all like to feel beautiful. We all like to, you know, like, feel like a human being, you know, like, when people find this out, it just seems like they just immediately think that it's like the respect just, like, is thrown out the window or something.
Yeah, like, I only ask that question if I'm at an event. I don't, you know, whatever. But because I know CW's not here. He met someone who I just met that's in the industry, and they actually went out and smoked together. And, like, while they were smoking, he found out, like, they were in the industry. And then they asked them their stage name, because they were met under her real name, whatever. And she said her stage name, and he was like, "My roommate was just talking about you," and it was just completely random, because I was doing something. I was editing their video for them, and I just told them this, like, her name when I was editing it. So it was just like, that is so random that you just met her on the subway and y'all started smoking marijuana.
Right? Isn't that
This is
crazy?
back in 2013, though. It's a long time ago.
Oh, wow. Back when it wasn't even legal.
Huh?
When it wasn't even legal.
No, yeah. I mean, it's legal now.
Oh, yeah.
Can't go back.
Nope. Thank God for that, though, kind of, you know?
No, because, like, I mean, I've been around this industry since 2009, so. Well,
I figure like this. People that smoke pot, like, you don't hear about people going out and killing a family of 10 after they smoked a joint, or, you know, going on some, like, random shooting spree. You don't hear any of that. Like, you hear people like peace, love, and birth control. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, like, you know, you get high, you either get sleepy, hungry or happy, or just happy, or just
horny. No.
or just want to sit around and just look at stuff and just evaluate the world. You get philosophical.
Yeah, right. You just, like, people watcher. Observe.
Like, you know, one time when I did it back in the day, you know, I was watching this thing called Short Circuit, the movie, and the person who was way more high than me, I was just sitting there. I really caught a contact more than anything else. And, like, I'm sitting there listening to them. They look at me and said, "Bro, the robot, he keeps saying he wants input. That's sex." Like, he said, Like it made so much sense because like the way he was explaining, because you seen Short Circuit, right? With Johnny Five, and he's running around town like, I need input, and he said the way that he is screaming it, he was saying that he needs sex, and that's his sex, and I'm like, yeah,
right? Oh yeah, now it all makes sense.
It all makes sense.
It's like an epiphany. Yeah, it's funny.
Okay, back to everything else.
No robot sex.
No, so is there anybody in particular in the industry that you really want to do scenes with or stuff like that, or?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot of people that I want to do scenes with still, but like, I don't know. Like, probably I would have to say like Jill Cassidy would be pretty good, or.
I've only seen her met her once.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. She's really sweet.
She was nice when I met her.
Yeah, she's really nice. Probably I would have to say like, gosh, I don't even know. I can't think right now. A lot of people actually, but I just can't think right now.
Because I know a lot of people, like when I ask that question, they always throw around, the same few people. So I always try to get it like idea of like what their end game is of like who they like have in their target, their prize possession.
Yeah.
Like saying yes. When I get that one.
I'm good. Right? Exactly. Yeah, I would actually really love to have done a scene with Jade Sims or Lacey Channing. It's the same person, but no, that is right.
No.
Lacey Channing, it's Jade Sims. Yes, you do. She came to the freaking the karaoke. My friend that came to the karaoke and sang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was like the voice for like the Avian awards last year, like for their intro videos and all that stuff. What they do, like
I remember, and I was like, but I haven't seen her in so long, so it's like.
Yeah, she's not in the industry anymore. She's out, but she would have been really cool to do one with. Or
she was a sweetheart too. So.
She is a sweetheart, and she's beautiful. She's a very talented person.
Yeah, I know we talked backstage at the karaoke that night.
Yeah, so. She's a sweetie. Yeah,
they don't even do that anymore, so it sucks.
I know, right? That was so much fun.
Well, I mean, I know why they stopped, but they wasn't really getting business. And people wasn't really feeling it, so.
Yeah, well.
So now they do the oil wrestling.
The Kelly into Cage Ridge thing, that's like going down too. Like I went the other day and nobody was even there. I was like, what the hell?
Because a lot of the people, in my opinion, a lot of the reason people don't show up because a lot of the porn star girls don't want to go to that because they can mess up their face more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they keep asking me to come back and do it, and I'm just like, I'm not going to come back and do it again. I'm going out with a blaze of glory.
Yeah, I mean, because I saw a picture the other day that I didn't see her fight, but I know someone posted a picture of you going inside the cage like a few days ago. Yeah, that
was my first fight the only fight I ever did, which was like last year sometime.
Yeah, and I missed it because I know I usually try to go to a lot of them, but it's like it's every Thursday, and it's like
it was really fun.
Twice a month. I know the oil wrestling thing I might go to more because that was really fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. And get this, dude, all those tips that they got like $500 a piece, dude, in tips alone.
Well, yeah, I mean, I seen someone just throw a big old wad.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
The other girls, I'm sure, were kind of.
I don't know, like who all made what.
Tell me that didn't look hot though. That looked fucking smoking hot, didn't it?
I mean, but the thing is like the first two, which was
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Which was
Lonnie Legend
and
Iggy or Ziggy
Ziggy Star.
Yeah.
Like they were putting on a show,
right?
Like,
they looked beautiful.
They actually like kind of scissored in the middle of that at some point, and it was just like, wow, this is darn good,
right?
And I know the second one kind of died off a little bit, and I have an idea why, but I don't want to
voice your opinion.
Voice it on audio.
Gotcha.
And the last one, it was someone that you could pay to do it, and I think that one didn't do as well because like.
they had already spent all the money on the first two that were really hot.
That and the fact that, like, you know, the first fight was with performers, like porn performers. The second one was just real fighters. And then the third one was just a random stripper that was there. And I understand it was supposed to be somebody else, but it was just like, you know, it was kind of going down.
Yeah, I feel like, and two, like, they don't serve alcohol at that place for one. You know, like, and I think that a lot more people would want to come if they serve alcohol, because if you think about it, like, people don't want to go out and, like, not drink.
The thing is with that, though, is if they serve alcohol, you can't take a bottle.
Yeah, you can't be naked, fully naked. Yeah, I know, but still, like, I mean, who gives a shit about bottoms, really? Anyways, it's not like you're gonna, I mean, as long as it's like a G-string, I mean, like, what else are you just don't get to see, like, the actual pussy, you know?
I mean, like, like, for me, like, first off, I'm not the biggest fan of strip clubs in general, because strip clubs always looked at to me as like, would you, like, you've been to a Golden Corral or all you can eat restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's like paying to go inside there, look at the food and say, my God, that food looks good. Then you go home.
Yeah, exactly. You can't touch it. Yeah, I know. It's a tease.
And like, that's how I always see strip clubs. But the thing is, if I'm going to be looking at you, whatever, like, titties sometimes do nothing. Like, if I'm just looking at titties, it's like, oh, that's a nice rack. Okay. It does nothing for me. But then, if I see, you know, the bottom, it's like, nice, because I get the full effect. And that's why I always like those more. And I understood, like, it's out here because I know for a fact in Illinois, I don't know if they changed the law, but out there in Illinois, you can be fully naked, whatever, and they serve alcohol and all that stuff like that, you know. And that's just the ones that I've been to, like the one I went to in Illinois, you know. So it was just, I like that. I mean, and I feel that if you're wearing a G-string and it's oil wrestling, people would want more, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, people just like to drink when they go out.
I mean, I don't drink, so, you know, honestly, like, I didn't know they didn't serve alcohol until I got there.
Me neither.
I just thought it was topless, like the one that names to do the cage fight, whatever. And so I was prepared to buy, like, I'm like, okay, what alcoholic drink would she buy? And you were like, I don't want nothing. Like, he's like, I'll take a water. I'm like, oh, she's not going to be drinking then. Then I found out why. I'm like, oh, because it was your birthday.
I know, exactly. Yeah, and that's another thing is they told me, oh, come and have your birthday party over here. And I'm like, I invited all these people, and it's like, there's no partying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, I mean, people, when they come to, like, a birthday party, they want to, like, drink and, like, you know.
Well, I mean, like,
people expect to drink when they go to a strip club or, like, you know what I mean? Like, or especially, like, a birthday party, I feel like.
I mean, well, yeah, because I know where I had my birthday party at. They served alcohol. And I know I had my third party. My third birthday party was at Dame's. So, and for the record, everybody out there who's listening, I hate chocolate.
I do too. That's not chocolate. I just say the coconut one.
I always thought that was chocolate, and I was always been grabbing for everybody. Rip. Anyway.
I hate chocolate too. I'm more of a sweet tarts girl.
No. I do so bad. Because, so everybody out there, every time I have a guest come on, I grab these particular things. I always assumed they were chocolate.
Yeah, it's like I forgot what they're called. Oh, fuck, I forgot.
Yeah, they're not chocolate.
Rawstarr.
And I always assumed they were chocolate.
Well, this one is just chocolate. This is fine hazelnut chocolate, but in this one it's an assorted one, so it has, like, you know, like a coconut one and stuff in it.
Did not know that. The more you know. And it's always grabbing them. And the thing is, like, I said, I can't take them home. And I might use the other one for whatever guest we have Thursday. But it's kind of like, I hate chocolate. So they bought me a chocolate cake for my birthday to the strip club, and I'm like, I can't eat this in my mind. And my friend who was with me, she ended up smashing the cake in my face because that was the only way that it would be used. So I would just look at that cake or just
right. You're like, well, but I know you're not going to eat this, so hey, let's like get rid of it so that way you don't feel pressured like you have to eat it. I'm just kidding.
That's what she did because like literally the person who bought the cake bought the like my birthday's January 3rd. This party was like I want to say the 13th of the month, and like literally like 4 days before, I posted up a few places, like literally a piece of a cake and says never ever get or never give me a piece of chocolate cake. It's the most disgusting thing in the world.
I hate chocolate too.
So,
if anything, though, actually, chocolate cake is something that I do. Actually, that's one thing that I somewhat can do, as long as it's like a moist chocolate cake. But other than that, like
if I can't
eating chocolate,
if I can't taste the chocolate and there's chocolate inside of it, the only thing that can get away with that is chocolate milk. But other than that, if I taste a physical
piece of chocolate,
Hershey,
yeah, right,
I can't do it.
I know I'm not down for it either.
So I forget how we got on this subject, but you know,
me too.
But no,
we both hate chocolate very much.
The birthday party. So yeah, I understand what you mean. Because no one brought a cake or anything over there to you or whatever.
No.
But I mean, I liked it. I know it was the first one they did, so I did enjoy this overall setup because it did get crowded. I do feel that the people there really enjoyed it. You know,
it was a lot of fun.
So I believe.
I mean, you don't have to have alcohol in order to have fun. Okay, like let's just like remove that out of the equation.
It's just an added effect, you know.
It's just to get people to come out, you know, especially people that drink and like to have a good time.
But I do feel that even though they do the little finger slip at, you know, ones you can drink at, you're less likely to do it at ones you're not drinking at, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
So I feel that, you know, since they're fully nude and stuff like that.
Yeah, just having a house or a club full of people that are just like totally just like uptight and like just like, you know, like they need that little drink just like, you know, let it loose a little.
That's why a lot of people drink before they go.
I know, that's what we were doing in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we brought some alcohol in the parking lot. We were just taking shots out there.
Oh, so that's why everybody went and just left me sitting there at the table myself.
We're like, well, we gotta go outside.
Drinking water. I was like, I'll be back. And they were going for like an hour and a half, and like, not with the water that someone brought. Sitting here drinking me some Nestle water.
Nestle water? Yeah. Well, that's not Nestle Quick Water. That's just the brand Nestle water, right?
Yeah. Nestle water. So I mean, like, but no. But honestly, like, we're actually near the end. So tell everybody, you know, where they can find you, where they can subscribe to you, where they can purchase your content, pay for your porn, where they can purchase your content and everything and stuff like that.
Okay. So basically, I have a mini vids, which is, you can find me Blatantly, which is Blatenlee. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. That's my own name. And then you could find me, I have Eclipse for sale as well, where I sell my own content on there, and that's under Blatantly as well. And then you could follow me on Twitter, which is XXBlatenlee, and my Instagram is BLATEN_LEE.
Oh, man, you almost forgot how to spell your name. I do want to say this before we end. When you first told me your name, your stage name, I loved it.
Right.
It's because like it's so much of a play on words, and it just fits so perfectly.
I know, right? It took me a minute. It took me a second to like figure it out, but I was like, well, as soon as I thought about it, I was like, well, this is it, because it's one thing, nobody's gonna copy it. Nobody, like, there's so many Jennas, so many this and that, like, but like, there's only one Blatantly. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that you hear once and you don't forget. You know?
I do know the name, like, because when I first started doing anything in the industry, like, I wrote down, because I was an extra, I wrote down a different name, and that's the name I gave them. and people started hearing like, cause I've been using Rawstarr since I was in 7th grade.
It's a long
So
time.
I've been using it for I'm in my 30s now, and 7th grade was a long time ago, and so people heard people calling me that name, like everyday Joes who they aren't in the industry, and they preferred to call me Rawstarr rather than saying, okay, it was the letter X, the letter T, and the letter C. So Mr. That, and what does that sound like? Just say it like the letters together.
What do you mean?
The letter X, the letter T, and the letter C.
Ecstasy? It's pretty good.
And I'm like, that sounds so good, ecstasy. And I'm like, okay, I can use that for everything I do in the industry.
Yeah, right?
No, it lasted the ones I was only an extra in. And then people start saying, Rawstarr. So it stuck. But anyway, if you want to follow the Burbank Misfits, we are the Burbank Misfits on Instagram, Burbank Misfits on Twitter, and on Facebook. Christopher is, CW isn't here, but his Instagram is Christopher_Willie with the IE_J, or CC Fitness LA on every platform, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. CCFitnessLA.com is his website, and BurbankMisfits.com is ours. I am Rawstarr, RAWSTARR on Instagram and on Twitter. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today, Miss.
Thank you for having me.
And y'all have a very amazing day.
Don't forget to buy my videos.
Buy them. They are amazing. She is stunning. She is beautiful. And you will not be disappointed.